If you're taking anything for allergies, sleep problems, anxiety, depression, or even bladder issues, you need to hear this. The pill sitting in your medicine cabinet right now could be silently destroying your brain. New research reveals that taking just one of these everyday medications for as little as 90 days can increase your dementia risk by 54%. And if you've been taking them for over a year, that number jumps to a terrifying 78%. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose exactly which medications are hijacking your brain chemistry, show you the hidden studies Big Pharma doesn't want you to see, and give you safer alternatives that actually work. These aren't some rare, experimental drugs I'm talking about. These are medications that millions of people take every single day, thinking they're harmless. Your doctor probably prescribed them. Your pharmacist handed them over without a warning. But here's what they're not telling you: every single dose is like throwing sand into the gears of your brain's communication system. The pharmaceutical industry has known about this connection for years, but they've buried the evidence because these drugs generate over $15 billion annually. And the most terrifying part? The damage can start happening within weeks, but you won't notice the symptoms until it's already too late. So what are these brain-destroying medications? They're called anticholinergics, and they're hiding in plain sight. We're talking about Benadryl for your allergies, Tylenol PM and Unisom for sleep, Xanax and Ativan for anxiety, and even medications like ditropan for bladder control. But here's where it gets really scary: most people are taking multiple anticholinergic drugs at the same time without even realizing it. You might pop a Benadryl for allergies in the morning, take Tylenol PM at night, and use a bladder medication daily. Each one alone is dangerous, but together? You're essentially putting your brain into a chemical chokehold. These drugs are also hiding in motion sickness patches, IBS medications like Benadryl, some antidepressants, and even certain muscle relaxers. The average person over 65 is taking at least 3 of these brain-damaging drugs simultaneously, and their doctors have no idea about the cumulative effect. The pharmaceutical industry has known about this connection for years, but they've buried the evidence because these drugs generate over $15 billion annually. And the most terrifying part? The damage can start happening within weeks, but you won't notice the symptoms until it's already too late. The evidence against these drugs is absolutely overwhelming, and it's been hiding in medical journals for decades. A groundbreaking study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 3,400 people for 7 years and found something terrifying. People taking anticholinergic drugs had a 63% higher risk of developing dementia. But that's just the beginning. Researchers at the University of Washington analyzed data from 3.5 million patients and discovered that taking these medications for just 90 days increases your dementia risk by more than half. And here's the kicker: the damage appears to be permanent. Even after people stop taking these drugs, their dementia risk remain elevated. A massive meta-analysis covering 2.1 million people across 27 different studies confirmed what researchers feared most: there's a direct dose-response relationship. The more anticholinergic drugs you take, and the longer you take them, the faster your brain deteriorates. Perhaps the most disturbing study came from Indiana University, where researchers used brain scans to actually watch what these drugs do to living brains. They found significant brain shrinkage, reduced brain metabolism, and damaged white matter in people taking anticholinergics for just 6 months. To understand why these drugs are so devastating, you need to know about acetylcholine, your brain's master communication chemical. Think of acetylcholine as the electrical wiring in your house. When it's working properly, every room lights up perfectly. But anticholinergic drugs are like someone going through your house and cutting random wires. Acetylcholine is absolutely critical for forming new memories, maintaining focus, and keeping your brain cells talking to each other. It's also essential for something called neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt and repair itself. When you block acetylcholine with these medications, you're essentially putting your brain into a chemical fog. Here's what's happening inside your head right now if you're taking these drugs: your brain cells are desperately trying to communicate, but the signals keep getting blocked. It's like trying to have a conversation while someone is jamming the radio frequency. Your neurons start to atrophy from lack of stimulation, and the connections between brain regions begin to weaken and die. The most terrifying part is that your brain tries to compensate by working harder, which actually accelerates the damage. It's like revving your car engine when the oil is running low. You might keep moving for a while, but you're destroying the engine in the process. And just like an engine, once the damage reaches a certain point, it becomes irreversible. Now, before you panic, there is hope. If you've been taking these medications, the first step is to work with your doctor to safely taper off them. Never stop cold turkey, that can be dangerous. But there are proven alternatives that actually work better without destroying your brain. For sleep issues, instead of Tylenol PM or Unisom, try magnesium glycinate, melatonin, or valerian root. These work with your body's natural sleep cycles instead of chemically knocking you unconscious. For allergies, quercetin and bromelain are natural antihistamines that don't cross the blood-brain barrier. If you're dealing with anxiety, L-theanine, ashwagandha, and GABA supplements can provide relief without the cognitive damage. For depression, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and B-complex vitamins often work as well as prescription drugs in mild to moderate cases. But here's the most important part: you can actually help reverse some of the damage. Lion's mane mushroom has been shown to stimulate nerve growth factor and help rebuild damaged neural connections. Phosphatidylserine supports acetylcholine production, and ceticholine can help restore brain cell membranes. Regular exercise, especially aerobic activity, dramatically increases acetylcholine production naturally. Intermittent fasting triggers autophagy, which helps your brain clean out damaged cells and rebuild healthy ones. And foods rich in choline like eggs, fish, and nuts give your brain the raw materials it needs to produce more acetylcholine. Look, I know this information is shocking, but knowledge is power. Right now, millions of people are unknowingly damaging their brains every single day because nobody told them the truth about these medications. You have the power to break that cycle. If this video opened your eyes, please share it with someone you care about. Your mom, your dad, your spouse, they might be taking these brain-destroying drugs right now without knowing the risks. One share could literally save someone's mind. And if you want to dive deeper into protecting your brain health, I've put together a complete guide covering the top 15 supplements that can actually reverse cognitive decline. The link is in the description below, and it's completely free. Don't let Big Pharma gamble with your most precious asset, your mind. Take action today, because your future self will thank you for it.